So, hello everybody and welcome to my channel. First I want to say you will see a missing finger on my missing nail on my right hand, so I do apologise for that. Today I am actually going to do a review based on the Sibel Nails electric file drill, which is a 280 per ROM per minute, sorry. This is actually at a price of $49.95 from Alan Howards plus VAT, but obviously if you're lucky enough you can get it on VAT free. I'm sure that you can get this from the store from Sibel's themselves. So I'm actually just going to do an unpackaging and that because unfortunately this is my second one and my first one failed. I unpackaged it and it broke, so I had to send it back on Monday, and I've only just got my new one back today. So before I curse myself, I am actually just going to do a video. So again, this is electric nail file, but this is a digital screening one. Obviously the price is $44.95. I'm gonna do the unpackaging as the picture says. You have your electric monitor, your nail drill handle, an actual foot pedal, which some have foot pedal control, some don't, and you do get a range of drill bits too. So let's have a look inside. Now I have actually unpacked it once and then packed it again because I had to look at it first beforehand to make sure that everything was in. So it comes in a nice little tidy box like this. I think this is quite cute how you open it up and it's still got this coverage on it. So again, I'll unpackage it. So you've got your foot pedal package, you've got your nail monitor, oh, let's take this. You've got your nail bits, which has got an armband, two diamond coarse bits, but I think they're actually fine, not medium. A cone, comb which I'd use underneath the nail, one that you could use for the corner set for your cuticle bits because it's a bit rounded, and you've got another pointy one there which I wouldn't really use unless I was doing some kind of nail art. So then we actually have the display too. So this is the monitor. This does come with a adaptable plug, which is quite good to be honest, because if you're going anywhere, like say you're travelling or anywhere like that, then you have actually got the adaptation of plugs already inside. I know the GHD straightener is usually the exact same. All you have to do is undo the screw there and then clip it off, and it's got a 2-pin instead of 3-pin, which I think is quite fab to be honest. I think so anyway. So then also in the book you get a book of instructions in different languages. The English language is on the first page. Read through that first, I would actually just tell you, before you actually just go dig deep in, because this is a bit different compared to my old drill. You also get a guaranteed card which you have to fill in. This is 12 months, but Alan Howards actually have 6 months on purchase, just to make sure that you maintain your receipts at all times though. And especially this, I would definitely put this somewhere special. It has on it date of purchase, the ITEM number, the lot number, and the purchase place too, so that's quite handy, and it's got all the information on there of what would happen if you do need to send it off over 12 months, which is always handy because if anything does happen to your drill, I think you're very limited to where you can send them, especially as nail technicians. So I think this is I think that's quite good. Also make sure that you do put it on your insurance too, because if there's damage you can probably cover it on that. So you have the monitor here, so then this is your input for your handle, on power button, speed in plus and minus, forward and reverse, and where it says level, that's your digital display of numbers for your speed. Also, before I carry on, remember that if you do buy a nail drill, that you do have to be trained in it. These are very dangerous devices, as many may see that some girls do end up coming out of certain salons with ring burns on them, and it's usually either to the product or the filing, and a lot of it's due to the filing, incorrect filing and incorrect bits. You've actually got a holder for your drill bit, which I think's fantastic, because with it being on a tethered cord, it's like you can put it places like on top of it. If you've got a holder, you can put it there. But I think because it actually goes inside of it and it actually clicks, so when you put it in, it clicks on the ring there. So I just think it's quite handy to have, because I think it would slide out if you did turn it upside down, but you wouldn't do it. But I just think because it's already in a place like next to each other where you'd input that pin into there, because the cables are next to each other, you're gonna have less chances of actually like knocking it out, because it's not like that sat on top of the and then it rolls off. So I think that's quite clever, and that. So also with this is you get your foot pedal. Foot pedals are actually really useful, because you're able to stop and start the power at all times without switching it on and off, because like usually you'd have hold your handle, press it off and then obviously change your bit, but then with this you're able to take your foot off and then just leave it on the side, pick it up again when you need it, blah blah blah. I don't think you can't put your bits inside of that and leave it in. I wouldn't recommend leaving your bits in all the time, because I have my experience of that, of leaving a bit in, dropped it and it snapped the bit in 3 places and the bit was half of it stuck in the drill. So I wouldn't actually recommend that. So the foot pedal goes in at the back. If you do put it in the back, again, I think you don't press the on button at the front, or you do, and it won't rotor until you've pressed the pressed on here. I've not tried it out yet. I don't use a foot pedal, but now I've got a foot pedal, I would use it. Not all nail drills have foot pedals, so if you do get one, I'd probably recommend practicing it and trying it out. And then you get like the little normal standard bits. They're not probably the best of price. They're not priced at 10 quid each, but at the end of the day the drill's for like £50. So you know, like they'll do the armour band one. I think is fantastic. They always are to always have, and you get 6. Like that's your mandrel. I think it's mandrel or mandra, and that's your armour band. But I just call it an armour band drill. Just makes it easier. So I think that's always handy to have. And then what I usually do is I take them out and then put my own drill bits in. What I actually use. So I use the ceramic ones instead. So I have the cuticle bit and the coarse round barreled bit too. They're fantastic, honestly. They quoted it about, I think, about £14 each or something, but I would recommend getting, because with them being ceramic, they don't create that much heat compared to metal ones, because obviously. But then this one I did have a problem with the other one, this other drill. Unfortunately, that did get stuck, and I had to pull it out with some pliers, and I didn't want to pull it out with pliers because I thought to myself it's going to snap. And this was the replacement from the one that got stuck in got dropped in the other drill handle and snapped in 3 places. And I don't fancy replacing them with £14 of a drill bit. So obviously I usually put them in there with a lot of others, but they're my 2 main ones that I leave, and then I'm Bambi. Everybody has the favourites. So I'm gonna go through the actual installation of how to put a bit in. Now, reading the instructions, it says just push it down. On the old one I used to have, it used to have a key, so you'd put the key through, so it's like a little hole. It'd click and stop it from like moving around. You'd put it in and you'd tighten it. This one's a bit different, and I was thinking, oh, it's a, you know, I don't know, like it was a twist and pop in and twist, but it's not. It's something totally different. So instead what it actually is you just push it in. but I'm scared of this because for a reason. Like, so what you do is you just basically, to get your drill bit, and you just apply some pressure in to that, and then that's all, and the way you go. And then when you want to remove it, you just pull it out. I think it's quite nice, but I think it would. I have a funny feeling it might end up wrecking it inside. I don't know. I just hope not. Like, God forbid, I'm praying. But so then that's it. So then if I put, I'm gonna obviously show a bit of a demonstration of the power on it, within the best of my ability anyway. Right, so I've just plugged it in, and you'll see the power will always flash when it's off. So as you'd see, I'm gonna turn it on, and that's on 2. If I wanted to reverse it, it stops and then starts the opposite way. I'll do it again. So then that's that. The speed control, it's plus and minus this way, so plus is on this side. So we'll go this way. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 is the highest, which is 208 ROMs per minute. 280,000 ROMs per minute. If you was using it on a client, you'd use it between 2 and maybe 4 as the max, but I would always say 2 or 3 as a safety. As you'd always know, whatever your hand is, so if you're right-handed, you would always go the opposite way instead of actually the way the nail goes. So that is the wrong way for me, because I would go right to left, as I'm obviously right-handed. So I would make sure that it goes the opposite way, which I think is forward. So again, barely on forward, I always go right to left, but the thing is that you can feel the force. You're going that way, but the force is going the opposite way. So if you see, I'm going that way, but the nail bit's going that way. So obviously that's how it's described. Now you have to remember, like, you have to be trained in this. You don't focus on one area too much because it can create friction. This armour bit you would use for preparation of the nail, for applications of whichever. It all could be used for fining down acrylic nails, of such. So I'm just going to show you, like, obviously what I'm just doing. I'm just basically going over my acrylic extension just to show you, obviously, a tiny bit of the finger. I think it's reasonable for price. The noise is very minimal on the actual handle. I was reading some stuff up actually the other day regarding to maintenance. So obviously as precaution, like, I would say they're fantastic. Except I'm a bit scared about this bit, so we'll just see how we go on about it really. You could always probably, like, say, keep the Sibel, obviously you keep the monitor, like, but you probably change your drill bit, like your drill handle. I think that's something that I would consider doing, depending, because it is, I'll be honest, this is very light compared to the old one I used to have. Now this is my old one, and I can automatically feel the difference. This is extremely heavy on the hand compared to this. As you can see, I've got a bit in there because I lost my key. So I put a drill bit in, I put it, like, it in the top, screw it. Sometimes use pliers, as you can see, because I can't find the key set. The old drill bit was actually given to me as like a second-hand present as such. So, but I definitely recommend that. I feel like it's very light. You can hold it more like a pen compared to the other one. There wasn't as much, like I feel like it did go slender on my old one. It's very movable. I think I'm not a fan of these because they get caught, so I would probably recommend trying to stretch it out by dropping it out in a way, in some way, shape or form. Foot pedal, I think that's quite nice to have, like extremely, because you've got two options then, especially if you're doing competitions or you was doing a serious set of nails constantly for like a photo shoot. It's always good to have control instead of flicking often like on and off a button. But no, extremely, like I think for the price of £49 for a digital electric drill, the minimum ROMs per minute you would actually purchase is 25,000. So 28,000 I definitely would recommend. Even so, for like anybody who's still getting used to a drill, I've been using an electric e-file now for like over 4 years, and I think they're the most advisable things that you could ever purchase. But always make sure you put your money's worth in, because any that you get for the costing of like £25, I don't think they're like on eBay and things like that. Mine was 49, but the original Sibel Nail ones, which is the older one, was 70. They can vary up to like different prices, of like up to like £250. They can even go higher. You could pay about £700 for one. So I think I'd recommend probably going with that. So that's it, guys. I think that's everything I've actually covered. My pros about it is, pricing wise, it's fantastic. You get the foot pedal with it. The handle's quite light and heavy. You get a digital display. It's got a UK plug, but it's also got an adapter attached to it, so you can change it to 2 pins. I think it's quite light, and even the monitor itself is quite light, so I think it's very good from light mobiles. The cable is short, but then I can live with that. The negative point really is, obviously, you've got the coil cable and the push in. I think that's your main worry I would expect with that, but I'll just see how we go. And also, like saying, it's nice for them to chuck it in. I definitely would accept, but like, if it was like, say if it was like 85 quid or 100 quid for this, I definitely wouldn't pay it. For especially only being 28,000 ROMs too, when the minimum you'd purchase is 25. So, but yeah, I think, and again, my last ever favourite bit is just the holder here, which is just fabulous. So yeah, so I hope you like my video, guys, and obviously put your thumbs up on it, turn your notifications on, and if you obviously like to see any certain videos, then please let me know. Obviously, I love you and leave you, and I shall see you all soon. Bye.